welcome back to today's episode of the Tundra Cast. And today I'm joined by Mann.
Good evening.
And on today, episode 74, I forgot if we usually mention what episode what episode it is or
Better.
not. Um, but we're gonna be talking about goalies and like recent trade rumors.
Oh, just all recent rumors, but yeah, want
Yeah,
to
all
get it
recent.
started off with the goalies?
We'll talk about goalies first. All right, so firstly, I guess a big one would be Jordan Binnington.
Binnington, bro. Like, I forget who said this, but it's so true. Binnington's attitude is just like rude passenger on a train. Like the shoulder checks and the bullshit. And it'd be one thing if he was actually playing well, but no, you can't talk shit. You can't act like you're all that when you have a 889 save percentage and then you had a 750 in the last game.
Yeah,
Like, you won a cup, grow up.
yeah, like, and obviously everybody knows my past talking about him on the podcast, calling him shit, and even coining the term. Well, not a term, but more of like a nickname where I just call him Shittington because I've never thought he was good. I thought he was a 1 year wonder. Uh, and he hasn't been good, and he's actively been costing his team by doing these things. I don't know if Shay's editing this, so I don't know if he'll want to or if he can, but like if he can bring up some of the things that he's been doing, some of his antics, that would be good. But I mean, even if he can't, like, it's not that hard to like find him because he's just been like shoulder checking him. There was the dirty thing he did on what was it, Jason Zucker?
Well, yeah, bro, he just straight up punches people.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
it, it's ridiculous.
it's not even like he's doing it after games. Like he's doing it mid game or like mid or like right after the period, and then he just does it, and then he's like, "Bro, you still got two more periods to play."
Yeah, and you know it's bad. Like, your own head coach is calling it out.
Yeah, he.
Like, if that's not a wake up call, and then, like, he's gonna keep doing it most likely. Like, it needs to go. It
Yeah,
needs to go.
there's nothing wrong with a goalie like slashing a player or like kind of like forcefully pushing or like punching a player like they do if the player's like blocking them or is in their crease. That's fine. That all goalies do that.
I forget who it was, but like a couple nights ago, a goalie just two handed somebody in front of their crease, and like
that was
was it was was it Toffoli that got two handed?
it was the fully that got two handed.
Yeah, who was a goalie for that? Because it was glorious. It was a great clip.
Oh wait, I let me try to see if I can figure out who it was.
Was it Spencer Martin? Was that
I think it might have been Spencer
was
Martin.
it
I
the
don't know.
Vancouver collapse? Oh wait, no, Toffoli doesn't play in Montreal anymore. I'm an idiot. He's in Calgary.
Um,
Who did Calgary play that would have two handed him? This is gonna bother me now.
it's gonna bother me too. I guess. Well, I mean, you can look for it while
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
talking.
see. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
while I'm
keep
talking.
talking about how shit Binnington is.
Yeah. So Jordan Bennington, like his antics are terrible, and like, like he costs his team because he does it mid game, and like not only should not only is him doing it because very bad, it puts a target on him, and like he's gonna get all of his teammates in trouble because they're gonna have to defend him when he keeps doing shit like this.
It was Kemper with the two hand. And to be fair, like Foley, like he took the whack, and then I mean it was a little bit of an escalation, but you know what? Gotta defend your crease.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, Binnington has been this way always. Like he's
yeah,
always had that chip on his shoulder for whatever reason. And it was one thing when you were winning cup, or even not even winning cup, when you actually just played well or even average. But now, so he is the of all the goalies with at least 15 games played, he is the second worst goals saved above expected. The only person worse than him right now is Demko.
yeah, and but like I've hated Bennington since he pulled the shit with Victor Arvidsson. Arvidsson got dirty hit by Bortuzzo because that's all Bortuzzo knows how to do is dirty hit people. and then Bertuzzo repeatedly to shot like cross check Arvidsson as hard as he could while Arvidsson was down, pressing on the on his back in the part that isn't like padded. And so Arvidsson's slow to get up, and then the second he gets up, fucking Binnington shoves him, like, and tries to hit him, and it's like, dude, you don't need to fucking do that.
Yeah. Or even just like because it's one thing when it's happening in game, but he's also doing it between whistles. And hell, it even goes back to the playoffs. He fucking threw a water bottle at Kadri. Like I get it, you're emotional because you got injured. It happens. It's hockey. Like sure, it was an unfortunate situation, but like throwing a water bottle during somebody's interview, like what are you doing?
Yeah, and like I think a big thing is like when Berube told him to knock it off. I don't think it's gonna stop. I doubt it'll stop. But like how like it probably takes so much away because like he's like fine if he's been doing good, but he's not. Like he's been terrible lately.
Well, do you want the? I mean, people have heard the quote, but here's the Brewer quote was, "It's got to stop. It doesn't help anything. Just play goal and stop the puck." Because like you, as of right now, like he's not doing anything.
And
Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. He's doing something and it's bad. Him doing nothing would be better.
yeah, at least
He's not stopping the puck and he's just being a dick.
at least last year the Blues had Binning or had Husso to bail their asses out. They don't. They have Grace now who can't do that. And when they don't have a goalie that can bail them out like Husso or another good goalie, they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Grice. He actually like he's not great, but I mean, low bar, but better than Binnington. 906 save percentage and a minus .9 goal saved above expected.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous that um that he does this, and it's like you don't need to do this. It does nothing good for your team.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
we're already seeing it. Jordan Stahl ran him over, or was it Eric? It was one of the Stalls. Ran him over, and it's like, if you're his teammate, do you even stick up for Bennington?
well, evidently not, because like it's one thing to handle it internally. Your coach just put you on blast in front of the media.
Yeah.
That is like that to me says they have tried to handle this internally and he has continued to be an ass. And now they've gone out to like just try and do some damage control.
Oh yeah.
Because you are hurting the team, but not even just the team. You're hurting your teammates. It's one thing to hurt the team. Like you're gonna have people that you work with every single day that are gonna be having to deal with the shit that you cause.
Yeah, and it's one thing if like, well, obviously we all know that Bennington's one of the highest paid goalies right now. I think he gets paid 6 mil a season, and that's one of the many things we'll be talking about like high paid goalies. But he's getting paid so much, like they can't just like bench him, or like I mean they can, but it won't do much good for them. And like
Yeah,
they're stuck with him basically because no one wants that because he's not even good.
yeah.
And
They.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say like people. I think were also expecting a little bit more from St. Louis this year, and then they went out and paid Kyrou, and now you're also giving Binnington his bag, which like he won you a cup. Like it's fair enough, I guess, but like this is not. This is short term a headache and long term potentially catastrophic if you are locked in with this guy and he can't change how he operates.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that Bennington is doing this kind of stuff. Like, and at least like we all know that Robin Lanner used to have these types of outspurt, outbursts
Outbursts.
when when he was still unmedicated as a bipolar, and he was. But the thing was, is he'd do this type of shit after the games. When the game was over, he'd do it. So if it was like at the end of the third period when the game's over, if you want to do something like that, fine. And at least when Leonard would do it, he wouldn't expect his teammates to stand up for him. I think once he said he didn't want them to.
Yeah, no, it's painful, honestly. But like, you want to know, like, because you are hurting your team. Like, when was the last time Binnington won a game? Let me ask you that.
I don't know. I know his.
November
I
21st
Oh, I know in his.
against Anaheim.
All I know is that his. That's not hard to do.
I know.
I know in his last five, he's like he's 0-5-0 and has like a save percentage of like 7 or something.
You know what's insane is like the streak that like he's okay. You want to know what his games? Here's how they've gone. He won his first 3 games in a row. Okay,
Yeah.
then he lost his next 5 in a row. Then he won 6 in a row, and now he's lost 6 in a row. He is so streaky and inconsistent, and the one consistent part of his game is being a shithead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not had a save percentage above 900 since the win in Anaheim. He had an 882 against Carolina where he allowed 4.
Yeah. It has my cat scratches at the door.
Yeah. He has had back-to-back games of sub 800, a 765 and a 750. One of which he played just over a period, pretty much.
Yeah, and it I don't even know like what do you do about it? Like if like obviously Berube said the things he said, but what do you even do besides that?
Well, I guess we are seeing what they are doing. They're just not playing him. And what happened? They beat the fucking Islanders.
Yeah.
Like, I get it if you've
But
paid him a lot of money, but
even so, like you can't just ride Grice for the rest of the season and like
well, maybe you can.
I mean, do you
Because like
relegate him to
at
backup?
this point, better than the alternative. Because at this
Yeah.
point, if he is not performing and is this detriment to like just your team in general, like not like on the scoreboard and off the scoreboard, just an absolute liability. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's no
think you can
fit.
relegate him to the backup. Why not?
It's like what happened to Bobrovsky, which we'll talk about
Yeah,
later.
well, okay. So where do you think St. Louis is in the standings right now? Who would you say is around them?
I think they're behind Nashville by a little bit,
They are behind Nashville.
and I would say that a comparable to them, just like standings wise, would probably be like San Jose and Vancouver or something. I think
They
those two
are
are.
smack dab in the middle of San Jose and Vancouver. San Jose is a lot worse because they are 4 points behind and have San Jose's played 2 extra games. Vancouver and St. Louis, same amount of games played, but Vancouver has an extra point.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we all know how ass Vancouver is.
hey, that comeback was insane. That game against Montreal, low key game of the year.
It's literally every. It's just all their comebacks that they've given up and just flipped.
Yeah, but then it's just like you score. Like Quinn Hughes scored on his own net, and then Kuzmenko had one of the nicest tips of all time, and then fucking Mike Matheson just fell over, and Pedersen just faked the fuck out of Montembeau. That was just such a fun game to watch. As a neutral, that was jokes.
Oh, it's very fun when you're like able to watch games and you don't like need a team or want a team to win. It's just nice.
I still wanted Vancouver to win because I had Pedersen in fantasy, but we
Oh,
won't talk about that.
but like here, like okay, so we'll get off of Bennington because there's a lot more goalies to talk about.
Yeah, if we wanted to,
We could make
Binnington
an
doesn't
entire
deserve our time.
podcast on Bennington, and we all know that I'd love to do that. Next is Matt Murray. I mean,
Bro, Leafs legend Matt Murray.
he's been good, like, but there's so much controversy around him right now.
Like what? Oh yeah, you pushed off the post. Cool. Get stronger posts.
But you can't keep doing that.
Uh, turns out he can. Well, because has he done it since the New Jersey game?
Yes, he keeps doing it. He did it against Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh wait, Minnesota was after uh, New Jersey. I thought it was Minnesota then New Jersey.
It was no, it was New Jersey then Minnesota, and he kept doing it.
Oh okay. Has he done it since Minnesota?
I don't know. I haven't.
Because last time I checked, he got a 44 save shutout against Dallas and ended Robertson's point streak.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game, so I can't say anything. But
Because
hopefully Shay, who's editing, will pull up some of these clips. But
like, I mean, Minnesota was a while ago. Like there have been a lot of games since then.
yeah, like, but I'm just saying, like, those are the two that I know about most. There might be more,
Yeah.
there might not be, but at the same time, The fact that he's
Huh.
doing it and getting away with it, like that's a penalty. That's delay a game.
Yeah. Or maybe you need stronger nets. For those of you who are unaware of being sarcastic, obviously, like it's a thing, but like you call the game as you call the game, and yeah, if you think he's being deliberate, maybe he is, maybe he's not.
I mean, don't even say that there's a chance. No, you can clearly like if you watch the replays, he's clearly just doing it. He's just like
Maybe it's not like his lung fist where he like fully just went and shoved the nets off.
no, but he's like slightly pushing it. Like
Yeah, but like all goalies do that.
yeah, but like I don't think I've seen a goalie in a long time do it this blatantly and this often.
Yeah. Well, sorry, this often. You mean in two different games that happened back to back?
Yeah, but there were. It wasn't like he just did it once a game. Like he was just doing
Yeah, but you're saying it's like it's been a consistent thing, and
because
like
but
we
the
saw it in New Jersey and Minnesota, right?
uh, those are the only two things that I know of. There might be more. There might not be. And
Yeah.
even if there isn't, it's still a problem because it's like
I mean, it. So you say it's a problem. I say if it's not happening anymore, is it really a problem?
I would say yes if other goalies start blatantly doing it
Yeah,
like
no,
he
that
has been. Like
I get you. That's across that bridge if you come to it. Like, yeah, sure. Uh he was being a shithead.
yeah.
He was gaming the system, and he didn't get called for it. Call the next one. It's like that whole thing with makeup calls. Oh, so like because people are, it's like you know what's going to happen as soon as it does get called on another team that's not the Leafs,
Oh no,
they're
people are
everybody's
gonna
going to
go.
lose their shit.
Well, not even not the Leafs. If it happens to any goalie, like even if it happens to
No,
Samsonov,
but I'm saying, well, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If they call it against the Leafs, nobody's going to give a shit. But say if fucking Allmark gets called for it, or if Montembeault gets called for
oh
it,
no, everybody's gonna lose their shit, and like rightly
exactly.
so, because there is like they need to
But no,
like
not rightly so. Not you say you want this thing called, so it gets called.
yeah, but still right like
Sure, you can be pissed about that it didn't get called. In fact, don't get pissed about the fact that it gets called now.
yeah, no, like you shouldn't be
If
pissed
you got what you
that it's
wanted.
getting called, but you should be pissed that it wasn't called before.
Sure, but this is the solution to the problem. It didn't get called. Now it's getting called.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
and if if Murray keeps doing it, that there's a different story.
Yeah,
But
that was also the last instance that either of us can recall was almost 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
So,
but like
and nobody's talking about that because Matt Murray is apparently the second coming of Dominic Hasek.
he just
44 save shutout, baby. That's all we care about.
but it's pretty
I,
entertaining just watching the clips where he's just like blatantly like just shoving the fuck.
yeah, bro. You know what? Toronto has like 5 healthy defensemen in the entire country. I think Matt Murray should be allowed to shove the post off because we don't have defense.
Just all of a sudden you just see Matt Murray just like
Yeah,
no,
no, that's
no,
what's going to be that's what the depth chart's going to be. It's going to be 5 defense, and
just
Matt Murray's allowed to push the posts off.
Matt Murray is allowed to shove posts off the
Yeah, Matt Murray is allowed to be Jordan Binnington for the game.
He's allowed to be Jordan Binnington until the Leafs get healthy.
Exactly, and that's not happening anytime soon.
Yeah, the Leafs are what one of like 8 teams that everybody's just injured.
And it's not even everybody; it's literally just our defense.
Fuck your defense.
Bro, you can't say that. Jake Muzzin may never play hockey again. You bitch.
I like Jake Muzzin. I'm just saying in general. Fuck your defense. They
That's the Jake Muzzin is our defense.
no.
You trying to say fuck Jake Muzzin? You
No,
bitch.
fuck your defense. You don't need it. You just that's what that like
Oh,
Andrew
apparently.
Bug's just like you don't need it. Just go.
Yeah.
Who needs
Well,
defense?
when Mitch Marner has a 20-game point streak,
Yeah. But
bro, it's nuts. Bro, that's the thing about the Matt Murray thing. Like at the start of before the year started, like we knew that 5-by-5 was not going to be doable for the Leafs and Jack Campbell, and then going out and getting Matt Murray with that cap hit, nobody was happy about it except for maybe Matt Murray. And, and of course Kyle Dubas because he got to pick up another Sioux Greyhound. And you know what? Fair play to him. It has worked out beautifully, and we get the Leafs get a 3rd and a 7th from that deal.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah. It's wild.
bro. So no Muzzin, no Brody, no Jordy Ben, no Morgan Riley, and now no Victor Mete.
You don't need defense.
Bro, that's literally almost a game night like core. That is 5 defenders right there. And plus the Philip Kral, who has gotten time earlier this year, he's also injured down in the AHL.
Yeah,
Bro, it's fucked.
yeah. I mean, like, it's wild that like that wasn't being called, and like the chaos that was creating was just wild.
I don't know if it was really chaos. It's just like
I
some
mean,
people
the
weren't
Devils
happy
one
about
was
it.
chaos.
Yeah, but also like if you're the
That's just
Devils, how about
Devils
you just
fans being,
but also New Jersey, if you want to win the game, how about you just score some actual goals, idiots?
yeah, which,
Bro, like maybe just don't score illegal goals. Like just put the puck in the net in a legal manner.
yeah,
How about that?
yeah, and like New Jersey
You got
fans,
3 goals called back.
New
Like
Jersey fans throwing stuff on the ice is just shit. And honestly, if they
yeah,
go on a
well,
losing streak, that's just the hockey gods telling them to fuck off.
no, it's just like you know what happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened. You got a taste of what it's like to be a Leafs fan, New Jersey. And I'm not talking about like getting goals called back. I'm just talking about losing in a way that is both frustrating, confusing, and painful. In
Like,
like in a way where you feel the need to blame somebody, but you have no fucking clue who to blame.
yeah, yeah, like at least when like
Welcome to the party, pals.
the main the main thing that Predators fans got outraged on, and I can't think of an instance where Predators fans have gotten more angry, was during the thing where the puck was literally just like rolling into the net during the Stanley Cup Finals, and they blew the whistle. Like at least then they knew what to blame. Like we knew what to blame. It was just like, yeah, it's the refs being stupid. They didn't lose sight of it. They just blew the whistle.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I mean, the thing with Matt Murray and the post with New Jersey is like it gave New Jersey an out to the fact that yeah, sometimes you just get unlucky.
yeah,
But now they actually had like somebody they could put that aggression onto.
yeah. And then he was just like, fuck it, I'll do it to Minnesota too.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that I can't take Gene Evison seriously because he looks like Creed from The Office. So they're like, that's tough for him. But I don't know, deal with it.
But yeah. But besides Murray and Binnington, because we could have just said Murray and Binnington, but we
That's
said all
that's
goalies.
Burry and Minnington to you, sir.
Oh yeah, Burry and Binnington. So
Yeah.
we got we got more goalies to talk about.
Goalies are whack. Because like that's just it is how it is always. But like what was this, of the
We
top 10?
of the top 10 highest paid goalies that play, so we're not talking about like Price or Bishop. So of the top 10 goalies, highest paid goalies that are getting paid, 7 of them have a save percentage below 900.
Yeah, that's whack.
And let's talk about those 10. Sergei Bobrovsky. Did anybody think that this was a good contract when it was signed?
No. You know what? No, there's exactly one person. Sorry, there are 2 people who thought that this was a good contract when it was signed.
I mean,
That's Sergei Bobrovsky and his agent. That is the only people who thought this was a good contract. Because like, yeah, he was good, and Florida needed a goalie. 10 million? Like Price's
yeah.
cap is 10.5. I like Bobrovsky was cool. He had a couple of good seasons. There is no way you could validate him getting anywhere close to Price money.
Yeah.
You're trying to pay this man more than Vasilevsky? Are you dumb? Evidently you are, because look where it got you. You got to the second round once, and now you're relying on Spencer Knight to be your starter.
Yeah, and before anybody says anything, no, the prophecy has been fulfilled because the coach said so. The coach has now said that Spencer Knight will be the starter. So Sergei Bobrovsky is now the $10 million backup.
What was the goalie I'm thinking of? Al Montoya? No, Rick DiPietro.
Rick DiPietro, his insane buyout.
What was that? Because I know the contract length was insane. What was the actual AAV? Hold on, let me. Because like, not gonna lie, because if it was like a low AAV contract, Bobrovsky might be over that in 1 year.
All right.
Oh, actually, it was not a low AAV. Holy shit, it was 4.5 million for Rick.
Yeah, it was a 4.5 million AAV, but this is a $10 million AAV.
Yeah, but this was also for 15 years. Holy shit.
Yeah, but it was Garth Snow. So
Yeah, but it's also like that was then money. That's insane in now money. This was 2005, 2006.
yeah, that was crazy. And I mean, you could argue that concussions really hurt DiPietro in the end,
I'm
but
sorry. He could have been Patrick Waugh. That's still a bonkers contract to hand out.
that is true. Like, but I'm saying
Giving
like,
anybody in the sport of hockey, considering the amount of risk your body is at to serious injury, you're betting on nothing going wrong for 15 straight years.
yeah. And thank God that the NHL made it so you couldn't sign that long of deals anymore.
Yeah, like you know those like you go to a place and you see a sign and you know there's a story behind why there's a sign. Rick
Yeah,
DiPietro is the story why there's that sign.
yeah, and like it's not a thing in like any other sport. I don't think where you can't. It's like it's a cap on years.
Well, it's just like you. It's like Smokey the Bear. You had to be told not to burn down the forest.
You had to be
You had
told
to be
not to
told not to
sign
sign.
a guy to 15-year deal.
Yeah, it's insane.
How old was he when he was given that contract anyway?
I will tell you, he was born September 19th, 1981, so that would have been 25. So he would have been playing until he's 40.
He's 41 now.
Yeah. No, his last year of getting paid was 20 to 21.
Yeah.
And I guess like the precedent at the time for like 40-year goalies, because you had fucking, what's his name? Dwayne Rollison absolutely killing the game. So like fair
Well,
enough, but also you dumb bitch.
by the way, he'll still be getting paid and he'll still be on the buyout until 2028, 2029.
Jesus.
He's the Bobby Bonilla of hockey, and funnily enough, they're both New York teams.
That's
And they both have the
wild.
same color scheme.
This is, yeah.
And they're both the little brother of the other New York team.
This is just, I'm just still, I'm in awe. I want to meet whoever negotiated this thing and shake their hand because
You
they've
don't even
won.
need to
Like,
shake their hand. It's Garth Snow. There's the
no,
only
no, no.
thing,
I'm talking about the agent.
the agent
The
literally.
agent who pulled off this finessery, like they've won. They're the best agent of all time. Nobody can ever compare to that.
I mean,
That's
you say that, but at
wild.
the same time, it's Garth Snow. He probably only had to give him like a coloring book, and Garth Snow was like, "Hell yeah, 15 years."
I need to see DiPietro stats because he signed that deal 5 years into the league.
I think
He was drafted 2000,
I think the
first
year of
overall.
his the year of his contract, he had a 919 save percentage.
Like that's good, but like 15 years, man.
No, back then that was ungodly good.
That would no, because that's not true. Because that was after he signed the deal.
Oh no.
That the 919 the 919 was the first year of the deal.
Oh,
So yeah, he was drafted 2000 first overall because Rick DiPietro's Jesus apparently. He had an 878 in 20 games. He did not play a single game in 0102.
He was probably in the AHL.
Maybe 0203. He played 10 games, started 9 of them with an 894 save percentage. 0304, 47 games started with a 911 save percentage and 5 shutouts. Yeah, no, that's better. 0506, was that the lockout year? Sorry, no, 0405 was the lockout year, and there just wasn't hockey. So yeah, so year off. 0506, he comes back. Jeez, okay, plays 63 games, starts 62 of them, puts up a 900 save percentage.
That's good. I mean, back then that's good.
Oh yeah, that's solid.
Not that good now, but that's good back then.
And he hit 30 wins. So he signed that deal. He signed the deal after the 900 save percentage season. So 0607, that contract's looking fucking galaxy brain. Because 0607, first year of the deal, 62 games played, 62 games started, 32 wins, 919 save percentage.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Yep. Then the year after that, still like not looking as smart, but still pretty good. 0708, 63 games played, 63 games started, 26 wins, so he's below 500, 902 save percentage.
Yeah, and
he went on to play after that, after 0708, I'm doing the quick math here. 5, 8, 13, 39. He played 50 games
Oh
for
no.
the remainder of his career after 0708. He
Okay.
played 63 games in 0708. After that, he played 50 total games.
Okay.
Never had a save percentage above 900.
All
He
right.
hit 900.
Let's get off Rick DiPietro. And,
No, 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 I
no, no,
don't.
no.
Okay, okay, fine.
Gotta
I
keep
love
going.
Rick DiPietro.
Okay,
God,
but we'll go to the next highest paid goalie after Sergei Bobrovsky, who is
Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky, who he's been good.
By Vasilevsky standards, he's been okay.
Yeah, 909
Because
save.
like yeah, there's always that caveat of like Vasi is like he has that reputation of being that guy.
Yeah, but 909 save percentage is good.
Mhm.
So, but he's also seventh. No, yeah, he's also seventh in. He's seventh ranked in goals saved above expected when you on goalies that have at least played uh 15 games.
Which is not bad.
It's not bad. It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's not Vasilevsky standard of good, but it's good.
yeah. Compared to what the other people who are around him, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. So next, and he's getting paid 9.5 mil.
Yep.
Next, John Gibson, 6.4 million, and he's ass.
Well,
He has
Anaheim's
the
ass.
he has the fourth worst goals saved above expected. If you've played at least 15 games, he's got a goal save above expected of 4.8 or negative 4.8, which, funnily enough, he's given up 73 goals and his goal expected goals against is 68. So, so he's expected to give up a lot, but because the team around him is ass. But
Yeah, I don't. When it's something like for me, at least when it's within that range of like 5 above or 5 below 0, because like when it's that whole goal saved above expected, I don't hold too much weight because expecting according to what, like define your metrics here, but like and when you also have a team like Anaheim who is literally the worst team in the league, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because when that contract was signed back when Anaheim was at least decent.
yeah, and let's not like shit on Gibson so much.
Well, I
Like
wasn't. You were.
I mean, no, I'm not like he's been bad, but it's not his fault. And plus, he's had to carry the Ducks for so long. Like this should be expected, and I'm not gonna shit on him too much.
Well, yeah, because he got signed to this specific deal in 1920, and yeah, this was a guy who was getting rewarded for having to put up with so much garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So next is Connor Hellebuck, who
best goalie in the league right now.
yeah, best goalie in the league right now. But like no one could like Sorokin is close, and so is Vamelka in terms of like being good. He leads the league in goalies and goals saved above expected with 15.6. No one's close. I mean, well, Sorokin is close, but yeah, Hellbuck's the best goalie in the league right now. He's carrying his team, I'd say.
Yeah, well, because like he definitely carried them more in the start of the year. You've had players like Kyle Connor and Dubois start to show up more, so
Yeah,
he was that guy, especially in the beginning of the season. But like now, it's like the rest of the team is starting to show up, and you're seeing it because what's this? They're winning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the list, oh, it's our old friend Jordan Binnington, 6 mil.
Yep.
We don't need to.
I
Yeah, we
yeah,
don't need to
asked
talk
and
about
answered.
that.
We can move on swiftly.
We answered it earlier. Number next is also six
Number
million.
next.
Number next is Jacob Markstrom, who's been
It's now the backup, pretty much.
he's also now the backup. He has
Like
a
it's not official, but like he's pretty much
it's
the backup
yeah,
now.
he has a goal save above expected of negative -0.1, which isn't too bad, I guess. And
Yeah.
he's 19th in that regard. If you've played at least 15 games.
Well, I wish Money Puck had the thing where you could like I wish you could filter it by time.
Oh, time on
Like
ice.
no. I mean like because like it gives you the whole of the season. And I'd like to see what Markstrom was looking like over the last like couple weeks because that's where he's been especially poor.
Oh yeah, you're yeah. I don't think you can. Yeah,
And
you can't do
yeah,
that.
but you like we know we've
We
seen
know, but
that
we're yeah.
it's not been great.
Yeah. So next is Philip Grubauer. He's getting paid 5.9 mil. How many games has he played?
Not many because Jones has been the guy.
Yeah. Philip Grubauer, where is he? I'm trying to find it. He had Jesus. Okay. He has a negative 3.8 goals against above or goals saved above expected. He's only played 7 games. I think he's hurt.
Uh, yeah. Well, I think some of that is being hurt, and then some of it's also Martin Jones has actually been not terrible. He hasn't been
I
great,
mean,
but
he's been bad, but they're winning with him in net.
yeah, exactly. Like, sure, the puck's going in, but we're scoring more. So,
Yeah,
like,
the puck's going in, but they're not giving up shots, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah, like,
And just to reference, Philip Grubauer's save percentage is 868. What other goalies did we talk about that we didn't bring up their save percentage? Okay, Jacob Markstrom is 889.
we
Um,
talked about Binnington enough.
Gibson is 897. So that's all of them that we didn't
Yeah,
say. So
yeah,
then the next is Jonathan Quick, 5.8 million. In at least 15 games played, he is ranked 24th out of 26 in goals saved above expected. He's got a negative 6.6. And I would say this is more of a product of defense because the Kings' defense is really bad.
yeah. Well, and you look at a direct comparison, which was like Cal Peterson was even worse,
Yeah.
and like Quick has had some good moments this year. My issue is the term on that contract is not good.
Yeah.
Like he is locked up and he is already old.
Yeah.
Like
How many years did
he
they
is
give him?
he is 36. Like he's in the last year of his deal. Like thankfully.
They better not extend him.
Like but
Or if they
I guess
do, just do not like give him too
what
much. Like just give him a little bit.
what they had last year, they had, like Peterson looked like he was ready to take the reins.
Yeah.
And now he cleared waivers.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's like. Do they have anybody in the system?
What of goalies?
Yeah,
No, not ones
yeah,
that are ready.
yeah. Because like this guy's 36. He's probably going to retire. Because one of the things that like always made Jonathan Quick special was the quick reflexes
That's not a thing anymore.
and the agility.
Yeah, and that's not a thing anymore.
But I'd say it's still a thing. It's just less of a thing.
Okay, I'll tell you their goalies besides Quick and Peterson. Phoenix
Well, Phoenix
Copley.
Copley,
Yeah,
yeah,
Phoenix
who just
Copley. And then in the AHL they have uh besides Cal Peterson, they have David Hernack, who's 24, and Matt Villalta.
you attempting to say those names tells you everything you need to know.
Jesus. Yes.
Like I have not heard of those people ever.
Uh, yeah, but Jonathan Quick has been bad but in comparison to Peterson, he's been pretty damn good because Peterson's been ass.
Yeah, but
And
like I don't think you can blame the team for Peterson. Like when you because like with Jonathan Quick, like yeah, he didn't have great service, but like Cal Peterson, you could have given him good service. He would still not be good.
I
He'd still be clearing waivers.
I said this right. I've been saying this and I've said this before, and I still think this. I had said this. I said, do not sacrifice the future for what you have right now. When like last year, when Quick was like named the starter basically, and Peterson wasn't getting any play time, and like Peterson was performing well. I really think that they fucked up Peterson by just not giving him playing time.
I don't know because like he still performed well last year when he wasn't getting playing time.
But no,
I,
like
I don't I don't I don't
I
I
think
don't
we're
think
seeing
it.
the results of that now.
I get like I don't think you can solely put it on that though.
No, I'm not saying that it's solely on that.
It's
I
a
think
factor.
it's
It's
a
not the factor.
yeah, I think it's a big factor, but it's not the factor.
Yeah, like it's everything.
But
Because like
and like I've heard the rebuttal of well, when he's playing, they're losing. It's like, but they're like, are the Kings a cup contender? No. So why hurt Peterson's development? Like
I mean, that being said, though,
you already paid him. Fucking play him. Like you need him to grow because you paid him. You can't get rid of him because of his contract. Just play him.
is Peterson's contract bad?
He's getting it's a 5x5, bro.
Man, that's not great. I just didn't know the details of his contract.
Yeah, like you gave him that. At least play it. Like why are you playing Quick over? And I know that Quick is amazing and has been amazing, and he's the best goalie in Kings history. There's no doubt about that. But and arguably he's a Hall of Famer, and there's no doubt about that. But Jesus Christ, you paid Peterson, play him.
Yeah,
Like you
I
need him
mean,
to be good.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, like, LA is doing at least decently right now.
But like that's the thing though. What do they have when Quick retires?
Nothing.
Exactly. And
But the other part of it is they don't have anything outside of Quick right now.
yeah, like and what are you gonna do? Are you gonna overpay for like you're gonna have to overpay for a goalie because that's what everybody's having to do right now.
Yeah, but the other part of it is like, did you Peterson, like, maybe he comes back, but he is really not an option.
Yeah,
And I'll give you one reason why, and it's the fucking 9-8 game against Seattle.
yeah,
That game was so atrocious.
yeah,
9 goals on 30 shots.
yeah. Like
It's
what was it?
ridiculous.
Quick gave up like what was it like the 4 goals or something, and then they took him
So
out, and then Peterson was
quick
just like,
gave up
woo!
5. Quick gave up 5 on 14.
That
So
is
he
not
he
good,
allowed the
but
first 5.
yeah,
And then Peterson allowed 4 on 12. Like, you are still a team that is like, the Pacific is weak as hell.
by
I
the way,
almost
just
anybody can
for
compete in there.
for anybody who doesn't know, Martin Jones was the Kraken goalie that night, and he was in for all 8 of those goals against. They were just like fuck it.
Yeah, 8 goals on 35 shots. You know what the craziest part is? He was the best goalie in the game.
Yeah, he was.
He had a 771 save percentage. That is the best save percentage of anybody in that game.
but
771 for Martin Jones, Cal Peterson 750, Jonathan Quick 643.
but let but like back to the Kings and like their goalie situation right now and like lately. This is the NHL has been a situation is in a situation where if you're a team and you have a goalie and you have like a goalie or goalies set up for 5 years down the line, you're set. And an example of that is teams like a team like Tampa. They have Vasilevsky. Once he retires or something, then like but he's got a lot of years in him. The Jets have Hellebuck. Like Islanders have Sorokin.
Well, look,
Uh,
you want to know who's low key set?
who?
Is the Leafs.
Oh yeah, well I mean at least for now, unless something
Oh, no,
happens.
no, I'm not. I'm like, because what you're saying is that, yeah, Hellebuck, Vasi, Sorokin all have got plenty of years left. But like, when you look at the Leafs goalie depth in terms of their prospects,
Oh yeah, and I was gonna get to teams with like more like the prospects
but
that
like
do.
but like the Leafs have it now as well, because what we're seeing is Murray and Samsonov at this point right now were the steals of the offseason.
Oh yeah, like, but like and then like another team that has a very good goalie depth is like Nashville. Like it's become a league lately where you need goalies.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with the game of hockey, but you've kind of always
No,
needed
I
goalies.
mean like you. What I'm saying is like it's become more apparent lately just because of how bad the overpaying for goalies has been lately.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like it's like the quarterback of hockey
Yeah,
in terms of like you that is a position that pretty much no one else can play.
yeah, and like here's the thing about like if you have goalies for the future, you're set. Teams that have goalies for the future, they're set. They don't need to worry about it. A team like Nashville is set. They don't need to worry about it. A team like Toronto is set. Don't need to worry about it. There are other teams like that too.
Because this isn't so Matt Murray. I thought he was older. He's only 28.
Yeah, no, he's only 28.
Samsonov 25, Shelgren 26, Joseph Wool 24, and Keith Pretzzelli 23.
Yeah.
Like that's wild. Like that is a luxury. But then that also comes with you like this is exactly what Toronto's been dealing with. If you get injured, you're fucked in terms of like your salary cap constraints because you can only have 50 contracts.
Yeah. And that's the thing is not only do you need goalies to be locked up, but you need them to be locked up like at a fair rate.
Yeah, well then you run into the Rick DiPietro thing because like 4.5 AAV at the time of signing and like that first year looked fantastic. But 15 years is a long time, and you
No, I
cannot
mean don't just
tell what's
give
going
like
to
a
happen.
goalie like 8 years or something, but I mean like
Yeah, but even then, like, what's long term for you? Because like goalies can go for a while. Like fucking Mike Smith, he's like he was actually decent last year, like at times.
I mean like at least like if you have like a goalie that you can rely on for at least like 4 years, then you're good.
Yeah, but then you get into a situation where like, what happens when you try to bring him back? Because then you get a Jack Campbell who fucks off to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Not a perfect example. You get what I'm saying? Like in terms of
Yeah.
like if they because like Jack Campbell showed that he had potential and he played really well during times of last year.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna run the risk of like then you get into okay, this is somebody who has talent and is going to be a sought after commodity. People are gonna pay for that.
Yeah.
It,
And
it's
like
it, it's fueled by demand.
yeah, it all depends on like what you can do with the player themselves. But like just going on the Predators because obviously I know the most about my team. You have UC Saros. He's locked up for 3 more years at 5 million. Right, he'll be 30 when it expires. Now, most likely he'll probably stay with the Predators. So when he's gone, you have Askarov, and like before anybody starts like commenting and shit, like oh he's a boomer bust. Yeah, I know he's a boomer bust, but it's also Nashville. Nashville can make any goalie except David Riddick look good.
Nah,
Nashville,
you guys just didn't know how to use Riddick.
uh, that's fair. That's
Big
fair.
save,
You're right.
Dave.
You're right.
Big save, Dave. Hold the save.
Yeah, Nashville wasn't good enough for David Riddick. That's the
Exactly.
real thing. But like
Yeah.
Nashville, from the moment that they have been a team, has been known for two things. Well, I guess three things. Their goalies.
Shitty jerseys.
Their four things. Their goalies. Their their defense and their uh, prospect development because of the Admirals. And like so like Nashville can make any goalie look good. I mean David Riddick aside. I mean look what we did with fucking Carter Hutton.
I mean, you single out Big Save Dave, but you also did the same thing to Casimir Kasky School.
He was never good though. Like he was never even had like a
That sounds like you're making excuses, and really, Nashville just couldn't use them properly.
that's true. We weren't good enough for him either.
Exactly.
The guy who the guy who
I'm sensing a pattern,
the
bro.
guy who
That is
the
a
guy who
sick
can
ass name,
by
and
the way,
you can't make that name get at least a 900 save percentage, bro. He gets a 905 just off the name already,
that guy like demanded we pay
bro.
to
Of
have
course,
one.
bro. You got to pay the name tax. It is in the NHL. If you have a sick ass name, you deserve to get locked up long term.
No,
Casimir Kasky is such a buttery name.
no, I mean like
Like,
he wanted us to pay him to be on the podcast.
oh, oh,
Yeah,
you should have,
none of
bro.
us.
That's elite.
By the way, what you were saying, right? What?
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, yeah,
Casimir Kasky.
yeah. By the way, he had one game played with us, and he made 3 saves out of 3 shots against. So he finished his career with us with a 1,000 save percentage.
That's elite. You want to know what he did with the Leafs?
Terrible.
One game. What was it? 38 shots, 6 goals against.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But anyways, next we've been totally off top. Igor
Yeah,
Shesterkin, 5.67. He's been good. We don't need to.
he hasn't.
I mean, he
No.
hasn't lately. Like, ooh,
He is a good goalie. He's just not playing like it.
Yeah, but he is one
Bro,
of the
I have this man in fantasy. He has not been good.
10 goalie. He is one of the 3 goalies that's of the top 10 that is actually has a save percentage above 900. He has a 910 save percentage as of right now, and if we look at his
But that's his. You put that in perspective. That's his career worst.
yeah, but I'm just saying like as of right now, like that,
Yeah, yeah.
and then if
But
we
like
look at his
he has been the reason that they've lost games at times,
yeah,
which is like the complete opposite to what we're used to. You used to bail them out left, right, and center.
and if we look at his goals save above expected
You just got
with
really loud for some reason. I don't know why.
uh, with at least 15 games played, he's 12th overall with a 4.5 goals above expected. Goals saved above expected.
Yeah, like
So,
I think the problem is that you have a comparison to last year where he was like second in the heart race. Like it's going to be hard to like
he's
keep up
yeah, he's not
with
been
those standards.
totally I mean, he's been bad lately, but like as a whole, he's been pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, like, and he's had good games. The problem is he's just had also really bad games.
Oh yeah. Uh and then finally 10th on the list is Elvis Merzlikins,
Yeah,
who
has been very bad and also very hurt.
he's only played 10 games.
Yep,
Um but in those 10 games, how many goals do you think he gave up in those 10 games?
1,000. No, I'll give you a serious guess.
Wait, but while you're thinking, before we continue, let me just bring up his actual save percentage.
Okay, I'm gonna say 10 games. Columbus hasn't been good. I'm gonna say he gave up 35.
He has an 866 save percentage. Uh,
Nice,
you say 35? No, he's given up 40. So he
lit. Yeah,
his expected goals against was should be 20. So like if he gave up as many as expected, 26. So his goals saved above expected is the worst in the NHL. With negative 13.2.
yeah, that's bad. But it's just great. Like, but this is the thing though, because we were having this discussion about how you were making the case that it's been an odd year for goalies. I'm saying it's not because like you have this every single year. There's always going to be people who are overperforming and underperforming. Think about what Carter Hart was doing last year. Like that was such an anomaly compared to what he's doing now.
No, no,
But like, yeah,
the reason I'm saying it's such an odd year for goalies because I don't know if anybody's been keeping tabs. The NHL save percentage as a whole has been like it had been going like up and down so far. This year it's not even like 900. It's not even like it's been getting dragged down so much lately and like it's like it's just
I
odd to
think
me.
it's I think the issue is because you don't have like I think in a normal year you'd have extremes at both ends. You don't really have the extremes on at the good end, or at least the extremes on the bad end greatly outweigh it. When you think about how bad Vancouver was, I'm trying to find the way to articulate what I'm thinking because like you are getting let down more so by the goalies that were supposed to be good,
Oh
or
yeah,
at least we're good last year
which is why it's
comparatively.
more
Like
noticeable.
yeah, yeah. Whereas just like there's such a big delta compared to like the goalies who are overperforming aren't as overperforming by much. Like when you think about Demko, Demko was like a Vezina candidate last year, and then now like it's just been a shit sandwich for him in Vancouver.
Yeah, and like I can
And Markstrom, like because you think about that, like on the face of it, the goals saved above expected is like a minus point one. Like it's not like the worst, but compared to what he was,
yeah.
is he's in a bad place.
Yeah, obviously there's the goalies who are just straight ass this year, like Campbell and other people like that.
Or he's just a Jack Campbell hater, but he has been bad.
He's,
You are a Jack Campbell hater. You stay hating, but that's okay.
but
At this point, you're not wrong.
yeah, no, I was just proven right. I had been saying since like his first year. I will even say this: since his first year with the Leafs, I was saying the second he leaves that team, he was going to become ass, and it might even happen while he's still in the Leafs. He would become ass, and I'd been saying that, and I was hoping I'd be proved wrong because I like Jack Campbell,
That doesn't sound like it.
but I was saying he's gonna be ass, and then like
Sounds like you wanted it to fail. That's not a good look on you.
yeah, and I guess. But then after so long, it was just like that, and I was just like, no, he's gonna like I was like sticking to my guns. I was like, no, he's gonna be ass. And now that I'm finally being proven right, it's like a both a positive and a negative because like I'm happy that I'm right, but I don't want to. I don't like to see like people be shit, you know. Except unless like I
I
hate
don't
them.
know. Kind of sounds like you do.
But anyways, like even like normally like very solid and like goalies who are very consistent have been shaky this year. Like Shesterkin's one of them. He's like
Yeah.
Vasilevsky. Saros had a terrible start to the season, and now he's getting back to what he should be. It's just weird this year, in my opinion. And I'm
I
guessing,
think it's also just because like when you have those expectations that are that high for these elite goalies, like yeah, like law of averages, they're not going to be able to come to stay at this level all the time.
yeah,
Like they were like those three guys were absolutely nuts last year.
yeah, and they're all getting to form. Oh my god, the fucking Sabres have scored 4 goals and 7 shots.
You're up against Columbus, right?
Yeah, who's
Yeah,
it's Corpus? Oh no, it's
yeah,
Corpus.
of course it is.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's bad.
And the Blue Jackets have 0 shots in that game, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, they
Uh,
no, it's no. You know what they did? You know what they did? You can talk shit about Corpusalo. You said they're 4 goals, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Corpusalo only allowed 3 of those.
Oh no.
Mers Lincoln's came in and yeah, he's
And gave
got
up a goal on his first shot against. No.
yeah, but now he has a save, so it's fine. It's balanced out.
Woo.
Mers Lincoln has a goal on a goal against on 2 shots. Corpusalo had 3 goals on 5 shots.
Yeah,
Hey, but he made 2 saves on the power play. So you know what? He's done his job.
yeah. But in my opinion, it's been a weird year for goalies. It probably hasn't been. It's just that it's more noticeable names.
I think every year is a weird year for goalies because
Yeah, goalies
goalies.
are just weird.
Yeah, have you seen a goalie? You've met a goalie? They're fucking weird. We love you, goalies.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, I've never met a normal goalie.
it. Neither have I. It's
Exactly.
it's interesting because like the goalies who are performing the best lately. Think about who they had to replace. Like Shesterkin had to replace Lundqvist. Saros had to replace Rene. Like it's interesting that
Oh, you want this one? Fucking Allmark had and Swayman had to replace Rask.
yeah, like so many of these goalies are coming in with the highest pressure because they're having to replace these legends and Hall of Fame, like people who should be Hall of Famers. They're having to replace these guys, and they're doing well at it.
You want another point towards how weird the year for goalies has been?
What?
Who's the best goalie on Nashville right now?
Lankinen.
Kevin Lankinen.
This man.
Yeah, yeah, he has with no like games played threshold. He's been he's 12th in the league in goals saved above expected.
Yeah, and if you do at least 5, he's even. Oh no, he's still 7. He's still 12, but still.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, he's been great. It's just another fuck you from Nashville to Chicago.
Yes.
But
Is
yeah, that I think
that it
that
for goal?
I think so, unless there's another weird goalie around.
Well, so you know, there was a so that list that you sent me, the one because there was like a little disclaimer to that is the fact that Matt Murray's not on that list because his cap hit doesn't count as 6.25 because it's being retained.
Yeah, it's just like the highest like cap hits that are only
Yeah,
applied to one team.
sure.
I think so.
I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking money doctor.
Yeah,
But yeah, Matt Murray, he's elite,
sure.
and Kyle Dubas should only acquire Sioux Greyhounds only, which he does anyway. Yeah. And speaking of trading, uh, I'm curious to see what happens with Chikrin or Chichurin or however you want to say it.
I don't think
Hmm?
who even are the big suitors in on Chikrin?
Fucking anybody who needs a defenseman and the Leafs.
I know the Kings and the Leafs are
Yeah,
two of them.
I can give you the list here. So, Kings, Leafs, Oilers, Kraken, Senators.
Yeah, and the two who need him the most are the Kings and Leafs because
Yeah,
everybody on the Leafs defense is hurt, and the Kings are terrible at defense.
yeah. I mean, Sean Dursey's been decent.
Jersey's okay, but
You know what Sean Dursey is? He's a Leafs legend.
but
He was part of the Muzzin trade.
God damn it, but Yeah, Jersey's been fine, but
Well, so the issue with Chikrin is the asking price.
oh yeah, and
Yeah.
they're
So,
not going to change that asking price.
well, of course not, because like if you're Arizona, you have no reason to sell him for less than you're asking. So as of right now, the Arizona asking is one upcoming first round pick and one first round selection. Sorry, let me say that better. One upcoming first round pick, one first round selection from the past 2 years, uh, a young roster player. Those are their three they want, but they're willing to take on a bad contract to make the mood happen.
Of course they're doing that.
Well, yeah, but like
Mm.
when you look at it, when you look at a team who just has awful contracts, which I think all the listed interested parties, they have some awful contracts.
Yeah.
It it does help because like when you are going after that guy and you're giving up that level of a price tag, being able to offload a bad contract definitely helps.
Yeah. And I would say, in my opinion, the team that I think will most likely get him is the Kings.
Really,
Yeah, that's what I think because I think that Rob Blake's gonna be like, you know, we need the. I think he'll be the guy to give up that asking price because they have extra like young players that are on their team that realistically that they haven't been playing like what's his name Jesus, I hate when this happens when I start blanking on names because I'm
Byfield.
trying to. No, not Byfeld. Obviously not Byfeld.
Uh,
Either Tyler Madden or like Alex Turcotte, just like young guys that they can get rid of because they have so many.
See, but I
And
don't think those guys are big enough names for Arizona.
I, I,
Because like
I don't know.
what that says to me is like that asking price. So obviously, pick is a pick. First round selection, yeah, you can pretty. But when it says young roster player, that means a player who is playing at an NHL level and is young
Yeah,
ish, like within like air quotes around young.
yeah,
Like honestly,
but
from that list, that like I don't. I personally, I'm not. I'm skeptical of a deal ever getting done for Chikrin. But of those listed, I low key Seattle
I don't think
because
who
I because
who
no, and
young
here's
does
why.
Seattle have?
Nobody, but that's the thing. I think no. I think Arizona is willing to be more flexible with Seattle because like they don't have the prospects. They've had like one draft.
You're
Like
so
you're not going to trade Shane Wright.
you,
And
you,
but with that being said, I think if there's a team that is stupid enough to trade Shane Wright for Chikrin, it would be fucking Ron Francis and the Kraken.
I just love how your thing was like you don't think that the Kings have, oh my god, 5 goals. Anyway,
Yeah.
you
But
don't think
the
that the
thing is,
Kings
like,
have enough young guys, and then you're just like Seattle, who
yeah,
literally
but like,
has no
but
one.
Seattle has an excuse because like you can't have the young guys when you've only done one draft,
We'll give you
right?
Shane Wright.
Like, yeah, but that's what I was like. Yeah, that would
They're
be.
going to probably.
Bro, he scored his. Do you know what's crazy? Like you were talking shit. Oh yeah, Shane Wright's back in the NHL. You know, you can spend time in the press box. And he scores his first ever career goal
I know.
against the Canadian. Like, yeah, bro, you got dunked on so hard
I
by Shane
got
Wright.
dunked on. And then this motherfucker's probably gonna get benched again, knowing Dave
No, he's gonna get
Hakstol.
Jacob Chikrin.
Oh yeah.
Because you
No.
want to know why? Because Seattle is now after last year because they were god awful. There's a reason why they were able to pick fourth overall, but now they're looking at a chance where they could make the playoffs. I think that they might get a little trigger happy and go for it and overpay. Like because I think if they're not giving up those the prospects, like I think they'd be stupid enough to give up the future picks for it.
Oh my god. Like if they do that, then we gotta just make an entire like hour-long video making fun of Seattle.
Yeah, shut up, Ron Francis.
Yeah, you suck. Um, but
Oh,
yeah,
when you say I'm just looking at the in terms of like their young like NHL potential NHL ready players. Like you have like outside of Shane Wright, like Morgan Geeky and Daniel Sprong are still relatively young.
I guess so.
I mean, they're not going to give up. They're not going to give up Shane Wright. They're not going to give up Matty Beniers. Like, there's no way they're that stunned.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like Vince Dunn isn't that old either. Neither is Will Borgen. Like they do have some people, and I think if there was going to be a situation where Arizona would be more lenient, it would be in the case of This is a team that's willing to like do the deal with the tools they have at their disposal because they just don't really have it like other teams have the opportunity to. Because guess what? We don't have like they don't have draft experience because
Yeah,
they've done one draft.
yeah. But
Yeah.
in my opinion though, I think that the Kings will get him if a
Well,
deal
sorry. Yeah,
happens because I
that's a
don't see
I,
I don't see a deal happening if they don't move their price.
yeah, it's all talk. Like at this point, like you were asking a team who is trying to contend to give up that hefty of an asking price because like who knows what it does for locker room chemistry? Who knows if Chikrin can produce with the new team?
Yeah,
It's a lot of question marks.
yeah. But like all that aside, the way I always see trades during the season and like big ones like that, where you're gonna have to give up like a prospect and a pick or something, or like maybe even like a roster, or like a regular roster player who's not a prospect or a pick, is
Well, yeah, it would
is
have to be a pick prospect roster player.
yeah. If the player that you are trading for, this is the criteria of if it's a worthwhile deal. Is it gonna make you a cup contender? And if not, then it's not worth it.
Yeah. Well, it's also like it's can you also get him to resign?
Yeah, well, I mean, Chikrin is a special thing because he's got 3 years left. But after
Yeah, but
those
even
3 years,
even down
can
the
you get
road.
him to resign? Yeah.
Yeah, because like that's if you can contend in the next 3 years. But yeah, it's
But yeah, I'll talk about more on that point that I made like a couple seconds ago when we get to the player that in a has been talked about the Preds getting.
you can talk about him now.
Okay, so I guess okay, fine. Next guy, Brock Besser. Who are his suitors? I know the Predators were have been talked about as one, but who else?
Definitely the Flames are people who have been mentioned a
The
bunch.
Flames are in. Is anyone else?
I'm not sure. Let me do a little check. But yeah, talk about the Nashville angle at the
Okay,
same time.
so before I talk about the Nashville angle, Brock Besser is 25 years old. He's got 3 years left on his deal at 6.5 6 point no 6.65 excuse me $1 million for 3 years, and he's good, but at the same time Vancouver's bad, and they probably just both sides want a fresh start. They have allowed him to look for trades. I don't understand how they're allowing a player to look for trades, but at the same time we all know who the GM of the team actually is.
Well, and also, I mean, Kuzmenko has been absolutely killing it.
Yeah, but besides that, so I don't know what the ask for is at all, but I've seen the Predators talked about as a suitor, and I'll say this.
There's a lot of people being talked about as suitors.
Yeah, and I'll say this about the Predators. Does the acquisition of Brock Besser make them a cup contender? No.
No,
We'd have to give up too much to make it work, and there's no sense in doing that because
honestly, you could give up nothing. And all due respect to Nashville, you could give up nothing, put Brock Besser on that team, still not a cup contender.
oh yeah, no, not right now. No, we have too many
Yeah,
scoring issues. Like, and we have too many scoring issues that, well, guess what? Brock Besser's not going to help that much
no.
because our coach is John Hines. Uh, but yeah, no, it's not going to make Nashville a cup contender. And in my opinion, we'd have to give up too much to get him. Like, and it's not really worth it in my eyes.
You know what's crazy? Every single thing that I open about Brock Besser is a new team being mentioned.
Well, to
All
be
right,
fair, when it
you
is a name like Brock Besser, you're gonna have a lot of interested parties.
yeah, but it's not even just that. Just like such and such team would be a perfect fit for Brock Besser, and then they list half the fucking league. But all right, let me list off every single name that I've seen so far: Red Wings, Islanders, Penguins, Wild, Senators, Blackhawks,
Why would
Rangers.
the Blackhawks want him?
I don't know. I said Wild already, but Wild again. Nashville, Montreal, Calgary. There's so many. They just name a team, and apparently Brock Besser would fit there. Anaheim, New Jersey. the Islanders again, the Rangers again, the Blues for some reason.
All 31 other teams would be a perfect fit
Yeah.
for Brock Besser, apparently.
Who's interested in Brock Besser? Everyone except Vancouver, apparently.
Oh wait, and then all of
Like,
a sudden you see a thing saying Vancouver would like to trade for him.
yeah, no, they're gonna trade him away and then immediately trade back, and somehow they're gonna lose both deals.
It's like in the NHL games when you accidentally trade away a player and you're like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
gotta trade for him right back.
there you go. Yeah, like, and honestly, it's just a whole lot of I don't know if anything. If something does happen, it's not gonna happen soon
No, and
because
out of every team, who would you say do you think if
oh,
they get him? Who do you think it's
I would say all of them would be the best fit.
all 31 teams get him at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. He will play for every single team except Vancouver all at once.
Yeah, they just switch who he plays for every day.
You know what it's like? You know, like those services where like people will share a car, like they all own it, and then just whoever gets it, whatever for the day. But then it's just like, yeah, I got Brock today, and then you know what happens? You got two ownership teams playing each other, and he has to play both ties.
No, he's just got to like change he's got to change jerseys and team mid
Well,
game.
you know what it is. You know what it is. You know the Leafs jersey that turns inside out. It's that, but it's two different teams. That's a lead. I'd pay to see that. That sounds like a good movie. So yeah, there's your rumor there. You know who wants Brock Besser? Everybody.
Yeah, but like in my
Except
opinion,
Vancouver.
I think that the best like we still don't really know what the asking price is, but fuck it, New Jersey. I'll say that they get him if a deal happens.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a sixth goal was just scored. Oh, and
It's painful. It's
Paige
painful.
Thompson has 4 goals.
That's wild.
And I would like to say this for everybody. I continue to be Nostradamus because I can provably say this. I had been saying that Tage Thompson was going to be very good 3 years ago.
Is that when he was in St. Louis?
Yeah, it was right after he got traded from St. Louis. I was going to say he was going to be something in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I had been saying
kind of hard not to be something in Buffalo.
Yeah, and I said he was going to be good though.
Bro. Yeah, I mean Jeff Skinner was a good for a year in Buffalo. Like,
but anyways,
we'll up the bar a little bit. Like, with Brock Besser, in terms of like a series, like who do I think could use him and would be good? I'll toss Calgary in there. So I think it's unlikely because like also sending him to a divisional rival.
Oh
if you
yeah,
are actually trying to compete. Like,
I mean it's Jim Rutherford.
Yeah, but it depends on what is Vancouver going to do, because if they're looking to a rebuild, it doesn't really matter because like yeah, give him to a divisional rival and lose more games, because like put him on the second line in Calgary, like yeah, that's solid.
They just trade
Depending
every
on
single
what
player.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just no team. They forfeit all the games.
By the way, another person who's been brought up being traded from Vancouver if they commit to a rebuild is Thatcher Demko. But because
I think that's
because it's an if they commit to the rebuild, we won't really talk about that and suitors for him.
I think even if they do commit to the rebuild, that's still stupid.
Yeah, it's Jim Rutherford though. So
yeah, but like if you're going full rebuild, there are 3 players you don't move. You don't move Pedersen, you don't move Hughes, you don't move Demko. Those are your 3 guys for the future.
It's Jim Rutherford.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm saying yeah, you can say it's Jim Rutherford, still stupid. I don't care that stupidness is based on still stupid.
But anyways, before people start saying like, oh, he's not the actual GM, he's just whatever.
He's calling the shot.
Yeah, he's the GM. Let's not.
No, he's more than the GM. He's the fucking president. He is calling the shots.
It's Jim Rutherford's world, baby. We're all just sleeping in it.
Bro, he's sleep half the time.
Yeah, meanwhile, Vancouver fans are just going to start chanting, Bruce, there it is.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's... Vancouver's in a bad place because, like, people, I don't think expectations were very high for Vancouver. I expect them to be a lot better. But it's just like if you take the consensus, they weren't supposed to be great, but they weren't supposed to be this bad. You know, and they've gotten better. They're still bad.
I'm going to say this. This is revenge for them fucking rioting. Because what happened when they made the cup final the first time and rioted? They were bad for so many years after that. They didn't learn. They did it again in, what was it, 2010, 2011?
Yeah, 10-11 because I was Boston.
They did it a fucking again, and like, stop, stop fucking burning down your city when you lose in the finals.
Or I mean, now they're just doing it anyway.
They're
It's
just
just yeah, they don't even. They're just like, we should burn things more often,
they just, I'm
and
fully.
then they did.
You know how they were like throwing jerseys on the ice, and then like
Yes,
New Jersey was throwing garbage on the ice.
bro. That was the funniest thing ever. Is I saw the post where it was Marner was talking about like they were throwing full beers, and I put under the fucking post full beers in this economy.
Yeah,
Like
like
whose man's is buying a $16 arena beer
wait,
and they're just chucking it on the ice.
wait.
And
Just
Mitch Marner.
think about that though, because it's fucking like how much are jerseys like authentic Adidas? They're like $200 fucking dollars. And you're just throwing that.
I mean, I got Leo Komarov for 125 because it was just after he got traded.
But I'm just saying, like in general, you're just throwing like, bro, we're
Yeah,
in
like
a
oh no, they're
recession.
devastated. They already have your money, idiot.
We're in a recession, and you're just yeeting like $200 onto the fucking ice.
I
But
mean,
but
dude,
but yeah,
people
Vancouver.
paying to go see New Jersey live
How
obviously have money to burn.
how much money or no money? How much further of Vancouver's suckitude before they just start throwing like Molotov cocktails onto the ice? Like it's Vancouver. Like there's not much to expect because they've
No,
burned
no, no.
down
You
the
know what?
city
No, you know what
twice.
happens? No, that's what happens when they win.
But they just start.
We should not be afraid of what happens when they lose. If this is what they do when they lose, we should be absolutely terrified of what happens if they actually win.
Yeah,
That's a scary
never
day.
let Vancouver win the cup because they will just they're not gonna
Bro,
burn down
their
Vancouver when
island
they
will
win the cup.
sink into the ocean.
No, no. So
Vancouver Island will cease to exist.
every time they burn down their city is when they both times they've made the finals they lost and they burn down the city. If they make the finals and win the finals, they're just gonna fucking conquer the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Bro, Seattle will be shaking in their boots if that happens because
Oh
it's
no!
looking across the border. Bro,
Yeah,
they're gonna
it's like a
annex
30-minute
Washington.
stroll.
Yeah, pretty much. Vancouver's a mess, and it's just your on ice play is a shambles. Like, thank God they won against Montreal because if they managed to come back from 4-0 down 5-4 and then still lose, that would have been the most Vancouver thing ever. Because if you think about it, if that Kuzmenko goal didn't happen, the winning goal would have been scored by Josh Anderson, who shot it. The goalie saved it. It went off a player, then went off Quinn Hughes, who fired into his own net. If that was the game winner, bro, that would have been
No.
horrendous.
You know what would have been a better, like a more Vancouver way to lose if they lost that game? They're
What was
down
that?
4-0. They score 8 fucking goals with unanswered to make it 8-4, and then they blow that lead and lose.
See, but that's almost too ludicrous because like this one, like they actually like they had some hope. They did do this. They did. They were going to. I forget who took the tripping penalty, but if Vancouver doesn't get that power play, they lose that game 6-5, and the winning goal went off Quinn Hughes' face, I think, or shoulder or something. Like that would have been devastating. Like the world actually dodged a bullet there.
Oh my
If
god.
Vancouver lost the game like that, bro, that's bad. Bro, Bruce would have been barbecued.
Literally.
Yeah, no, bro, they would have actually just barbecued that man.
We would have had to like go in, like both Canada and America's militaries would have had to go in and save everybody on that team.
Yeah. We save Vancouver from Vancouver. And I think the last rumor we wanted to talk about was it was something that got reported on by Chris Johnson, which is the potential over the next few years about discussions of league expansion once again. Which, yeah, I don't know about all of you, but it's enough. Like 32 teams, in my opinion, is the perfect number of teams.
Yeah.
And also beyond that, for a league like the NHL of the Big Four, you're the smallest. There's no way you should be having the most teams because that is just not sustainable.
Yeah, and even if they got to become the biggest one in out of the Big Four, which isn't going to happen because they are inept at marketing. Even if like how many play like the whole reason to expand is to spread out the talent. How many NHL players who deserve to be in the NHL are in the AHL right now? How many?
Kyle Clifford.
Like the whole point of expanding a league, it or what the point should be, not to make more money and not to do that. The whole point of expanding a league is to spread out the talent.
Yeah.
I guess if there was like if the AHL was literally just filled with fucking NHL caliber players, then fine, yeah, expand the league more. But it's not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, even outside of the AHL, because you have talented players in other leagues around the world. Like there is a potential there. But like, here's the thing: you have a team like Arizona, and you know what? Credit where it's due. They're not, but based on record, they're not the worst team in the league. They are not an NHL team. This is not NHL caliber quality, and they are playing in the Mullet Arena, which seats 5,000 people.
Yeah.
And you want to do more of those.
Yeah, and you know what?
Why?
And to everybody who I've made this clear, the NHL would be a lot bigger than it is if it knew how to market itself. They do not know how to market itself. And I will bring up one. I don't. I don't know how long this
Well,
recording has been going on
before
for.
you talk about that, do you want to hear the potential expansion cities?
Okay, let me guess. It's gonna be Atlanta, Kansas City, Hamilton. I don't know, San Francisco or something.
You got one of those because like the potential thing. So the propose of what might happen is going from 32 to 36,
That is stupid.
and then going changing the divisions to 6x6.
No.
All around just terrible. So there's the North American possibilities are Quebec City, Halifax,
Bruh.
Houston,
Bruh.
and Kansas City.
Bruh.
Yeah, but then
Please
then
tell
they
me
also
don't
talk
want to
about
expand to fucking like Europe.
that's the other possibility is them going to Europe.
Why?
Which is so fucking stupid.
Do you no? No. You cannot do. You cannot put a team in a like. I'm sorry, but that doesn't work because what are you gonna do? Like, oh well, they played the global series games. Yeah, but then both the teams that played there get a fucking week off.
And also, like, you send two teams out there and they just play there they play each other.
Yeah,
like, it's not that's it's an exhibition. That's the whole point. It's supposed to grow the game.
Yeah.
Moving a team out there isn't going to grow the game.
No,
that's just going to be a logistic nightmare.
Yeah, it's because what are you gonna do? What you're gonna have fucking what? Like, you're gonna have like Nashville go to fucking I don't know where they're planning on putting it. You're gonna have Nashville.
Well,
go to,
let's say they put it in Stockholm.
Yeah,
so
let's say
they
they put it in Sweden. You're gonna have Nashville go to Sweden, play a game, and then be expected to play the day after the game they played. Like,
yeah, like back to backs just don't happen. But even more than that, like, and let's do the complete opposite of that. Let's say you're the Stockholm team. It's 41 home, 41 away.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are they going to have a 41 game homestand and then fly to North America and just play the 41 games there?
But
no.
Think about it this way: you have a team going to Stockholm, playing there, and then the day after they get a day break. But that day break is literally just going to be flying home. They're going to be fucked. You do not put teams out of you do not put teams out of North America.
Like, flying from Toronto to the westernmost point of Europe is 5 hours.
Yeah. But
and let's face it, you're not putting a hockey team in fucking Portugal or Spain.
No.
Like, you're going to the areas where hockey is popular. That adds on. It's going to be 8 hours.
Yeah.
Both each way. So that's not going to happen.
That doesn't work because all it's going to do is ruin the league because you can't do that.
And God forbid, what happens if the Sweden team makes the playoffs? Imagine going back and forth. You'd have to have 2-day break between every single game.
Fuck it.
It's ridiculous.
They're gonna do something stupid like, oh, they just decide what arena, like you know how the NFL does they do
an original site. Yeah, but
they have to do it the entire playoffs.
Then what's the fucking point of having the team over there in the first place?
Yeah, no,
that's stupid. Just named it after the city and then just moved it. Like, imagine being called the Stockholm Snipers and then you play out of fucking North Dakota.
They could put a team in I don't know. Is there a place in Canada that has 5 people living in it or something?
Yeah, I live there, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not about to
Okay,
dox myself.
but
Like, bro, anything that's not on the coastline has like 5 people living in it.
you
Nobody
could
lives like
you could put it
inwardly in Canada.
okay, no, but you could put a team in fucking Wyoming that is better than having a team in Stockholm, Sweden.
It's bad enough. Like when an Eastern Conference team, like if you're a fan of that team and they play in the Western, if they're playing a Western team, and the game starts at 10 p.m. Eastern, like you have people belly aching about that, bro. Imagine being a fan
Fucking,
of a Stockholm
you're
team and
gonna
they're playing an away game in LA. No,
you're never
that's
gonna be
not
able to
good, Gary.
41 games. You're just not gonna be able to watch.
Yeah, and even both ways, because like if you're a North American fan and your team's playing in fucking Sweden,
You're just gonna be you're fucked.
well, it's going to be a morning game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like people have jobs and they have lives. Like no,
And even let's say all that logistics aside, like what time the games would be played, and let's put aside the logistics of how the hell you'd make
well,
that
no,
work,
sorry.
because the people who are playing in your league are humans and cannot play a game in Sweden, fly to LA, and then play the very next day
Oh,
with
100%.
a day
But no,
break in between. That's no.
the point I was getting at in terms of like people not being able, the whole point of doing something like this is to quote unquote grow the game. You can't grow the game if people can't watch them.
Yeah, and
If it's just a figurehead team, it's completely pointless. It would be a publicity stunt. It would get you about a week of press, and then the larger media would go back to not giving a shit about hockey because you can't effectively market yourself. People forget Gary Bettman isn't a hockey guy. He came from the NBA. He just knows how to play politics. That's what Gary does best. There's a reason why there's going to be a lockout as soon as the salary cap is due to increase. This ain't a coincidence. Gary is that guy. He's a fucking Batman villain, but he's just short.
yeah, but
Fuck you, Gary.
like okay, so that just goes into the thing of how bad the NHL is at marketing itself and stuff. You have a gold mine of places in the United States and hell, even in Mexico that would fucking watch hockey if you put it there.
Yeah, well, because even within markets that already exist, people don't know about hockey because like it's just not a predominant sport there.
And it's because the NHL can't market itself. And before I go on another fucking tirade, oh, by the way, Tage Thompson, he scored 4 goals in 5 minutes of time on ice.
Damn.
Anyways, before I go into another tirade, because hell, I will, but in another video, because this video is probably already super long. Like, before I go into another tirade about how bad the NHL is at marketing itself, I'm going to bring up one instance, and that'll be what I bring up, and then that'll be the end of the video, and we'll just do the outro. This is the one thing to show that the NHL cannot market itself and needs to get better at it. And no, it's not by fucking having everybody invest in Trevor Seagrass and fucking TikTok. No. Shut up. They said that opening night was starting even though San Jose and Nashville had already played. They said that opening night wasn't the actual opening night. It was just fucking a couple days later. Two teams had already played 2 games. Out of those 2 games, there were 2 winners. Or there was 1 winner and 1 loser for both of those games. In the standings and in the statistics, those games had been played. Yet the NHL said that opening night of the NHL, opening night, arguably of the most important fucking day or night of the season, was days later. And that is why the NHL cannot market itself. Anyways, that was it for today's episode of the Tundra Cast. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you disliked the video, leave a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment with ideas of what to talk about, and if you have any like rebuttals or anything in disagreement with us, just respond, and more than likely we'll no, not more than likely. We will respond because hell, we've got nothing else to do. Uh, I mean, we do, but we all like talking hockey, so we'll respond. But yeah, we have a few videos coming up. Hopefully, we can actually like record them and not not be able to record them. But we got a few videos coming up, so yeah, we'll see you next time.